Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Shadee with Pure Shade, and I'm going to show you how to make this southern cabbage using all of these ingredients. A quick disclaimer, I did want to use walnut meat, but I was short on time, so I had to settle for Beyond Meat. But even worse, they did not have the regular ground, so I had to get 3 packs of Beyond Meat burgers. But anyways, you're going to saute your pan and put those diced bell peppers and onions into this pot and let it begin to saute. And I did give the bell peppers and onions a little shake to make sure everything was evenly sauteed and a stir to make sure it is evenly cooked. Now I'm going to work on that ground meat. You're going to drizzle some avocado into another pot. Put all 6 of those Beyond Beef burgers and dice them up into looking like the regular ground meat. And here I am dicing up those burgers. Again, you're going to dice them up to make sure they evenly cook in this pot. You don't want anything to overly cook or get burnt. And periodically, you're going to stir those bell peppers and onions. Make sure they're evenly cooking and getting all nicely sauteed down. Now, the bell peppers and onions are almost finished. Now, as you can see, I just wanted to show you how it looks right before it's finished. And I'm going to stir a couple more times, making sure the ground meat does not burn either. As you can see, that heat looks kind of high. Now those bell peppers are finished. This is how it should look. So you're going to set it aside because you're going to need that a little bit later. And again, you're going to stir your ground meat just to make sure everything is evenly cooking and make sure nothing gets burned. And now it's time to prep the orzo pasta. You're going to boil about 2 cups of water. And once it's ready, you'll boil for about 9 to 11 minutes. And you're going to boil about 2 to 3 cups of water. Add some salt. And once it starts boiling, I added the whole box of orzo pasta for about 9 to 11 minutes. Now it's time to add the seasoning to this ground meat. I added some jerk seasoning. Again, you can season to your desired taste. I just wanted to make sure the Beyond Meat had some flavor to it. So I added about half a tablespoon of jerk seasoning, a teaspoon of onion grated, a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Now you can add more or less depending on how spicy you want yours to be. A tablespoon of cumin and a tablespoon of Creole seasoning. Again, desired flavors of your own. You can do more or less, but this is how I season the meat. Again, you're going to be adding more of the flavor into all of the big pot once it's all combined. And once I added all the seasonings, I gave it a good stir. Make sure all of this Beyond Meat gets all of that flavor. Now it's time to prep the cabbage. I put about 2 cups of water into the big pot. And again, that's how your Beyond Meat's going to look once it's finished. And once the water starts to boil in this pot, now you're going to want to add your diced up cabbage. I had first cut the first head, and then I was working on the second one. So you'll see me add it twice. So this is from the first cabbage head, and then you'll see me add again the second one. The water for the orzo pasta has begun to boil, so I'm just showing to add the whole box to that water and boiled 9 to 11 minutes. And here I am adding the second head of the cabbage. Like I said, I added the first one and I had to cut up the second because I did not dice all of them together. So I worked on the first one, put it in there, and now I'm adding the second. And now it's time to add the broth. I did the no beef broth from the Simple Truth. I added about 2 cups. And I also added vegetable broth. And I also added about 2 cups as well. You can, again, add more or less depending if you want yours to be more soupier. But as the cabbage begins to boil down, it will soften and get all extra juicy. And after adding the broths, I did give it a nice little stir because I wanted all the cabbage to kind of get a little bit of flavor from both broths. And at this point, you're going to cover it and let that cabbage boil down. And you'll periodically stir and check on your cabbage to make sure it's all boiled down and softened to your desired texture. And once the 9 to 11 minutes is up, it is time to remove your orzo pasta, drain and rinse, and set it aside. Now, like I said, you'll want to check on your cabbage. I actually had it a little too high. As you can see, it is boiling like crazy. So I definitely did turn it down to a medium-high heat and give it a couple stirs. I did let it boil down for another 10 more minutes, and now it is time to add all the ingredients together. I started out with adding the bell peppers and onions, followed by the ground meat, and then the orzo chickpea pasta. Once everything is all added, I stirred everything together because I had to make sure everything is all mixed up, everything gets seasoned, all good. And I did let it boil down a little bit before I added the extra spices and seasonings. So here's how it looks before I added the extra flavor. Now I did add a little bit more avocado oil, followed by about 2 tablespoons of Creole seasoning. Two tablespoons of jerk seasoning. About 2.5 tablespoons of cumin, 1.5 tablespoons of the grated onions, about 1/2 tablespoon of red pepper flakes, about 2 tablespoons of garlic minced, and about 2 tablespoons of vegan butter. And of course, stir all that good seasoning and flavor together in this pot. Make sure it's not sticking to the bottom and make sure everything gets nice and flavored. And I did add about half a teaspoon of salt. I use pink Himalayan salt. You can use whatever salt that you like. And gave it another stir. And you'll let it cook down for another 10 to 15 minutes to your desired texture. And it should look something like this. Look how juicy that looks. And you'll go ahead and plate it into your bowl. And now it's time to try it out. It's super hot. And y'all, after that first bite, y'all, it was absolutely phenomenal. So flavorful. Great thing for yourself. My kids loved it. So yeah, definitely try it for yourself. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Be you. Think naturally. Thank you guys again. Bye.